Hey all, welcome to the channel, Fully Invested Fi. I thought I'd make a little video to go over the portfolio today and just go over the dividends that came in this week, any additional income as well, have some rental income that came in, go over the margin and see where we're at there, and give a little preview of where we'll land next week as far as new videos go. So yeah, let's dive in. It was a good week in the market. So you can kind of see here, yeah, I was up 1.9%, which is great. And this also factors in dividends that dropped just yesterday. So I love that Robinhood actually factors that in the percentage. So yeah, for the day, 1.9%. For the week was up 7.81%, which is a nice gain, and doing good on the month as well. 8.5%. And yeah, I only recently transferred to Robinhood, so that's why it's like the 3 months view is a bit bare, but yeah, up 10% overall. So yeah, if we compare that to VU, yeah, yesterday it was at 0.78, 2.58, so I more than doubled this week, which is amazing. So yeah, some great outperformance there with the portfolio, between the growth and the high yield income coming in. So yeah, if we take a look at my buying power here and the margin, you can kind of notice that the margin has ticked up here compared to what I had before. I think like when I last showed the video, I was at like 113K. So now I'm at just under 119. And the reason for that is I had a bunch of bills come in this week. So I lost my spending account. It's over here. So yeah, I transferred some money over from the brokerage to my spending account here. So this was like a credit card bill that came in, and then also my internet bill. So yeah, you can kind of see how I'm just fully living out of my brokerage. I'm not selling anything, any holdings. I'm just transferring money over from margin to my spending account and getting that out. I also had some rental income come in. So you'll notice this was actually from a couple weeks ago. But there's a new transfer coming in of $500, and that's rental income from my girlfriend that lives with me. So yeah, usually I typically just throw that into VU. Like my whole VU position is basically that rental income. So yeah, I just took that 500 and invested in VU this week. So you'll notice too that the buying power actually dropped quite a bit from what we saw last week or the other day. I was at like 45K of buying power. So that's gone down by like roughly 10K. And the reason for that is that, so any cash that you transfer out of your account, that basically counts as double for the buying power. So for example, over here, the 18.4K, that's roughly the cash available for withdrawal over here. And then the buying power constitutes like basically double that essentially because of the margin and what Robinhood is willing to loan you. So yeah, so because I took out 5,000 or a little bit more than 5,000 this week for bills and stuff, like my buying power dropped by 10,000. But then it got slightly replenished because of the dividends that came in, because of additional income I dropped in. So yeah, we can kind of take a look at some of the dividends that have come in here. So there's a YMAG, which was a bit low this week. YMAX, which I'm just kind of building up still. ULTY, which I freshly just got in because I've just been loving the stable yield it's been getting. And it's definitely kind of relatively stabilized over the last 4 months, like given also for sure the bull market, but potentially for a little bit from the strategy changes. So we'll just keep keeping an eye on that. And then also XPAY came in, and then also Bitto. So those were two big payments. I love XPAY from Roundhill just because that's like a managed 20% distribution that they do yearly. So they try to maintain that 20% distribution throughout the year, which is great. Keeps it stable. It's definitely one of my core anchor positions to kind of stabilize the high yield portion of the portfolio. So if we pop over to my little spreadsheet here, kind of got all the numbers there. So between all that brings me to like a $1,387 or $1,387 dividends for this week, which is nice. If you factor in the rental income, that puts me to $1,887. So good week for income. yeah, some stuff that's neat here on the sheet too, is that like I kind of show the market value, and you can kind of see this in Robinhood as well too. So like if you pop over to investing, you can kind of see exactly what your equity is. So I'm just above 50%. I'm always going to try to keep this above 50% and make sure it doesn't dip. So yeah, quite a bit of margin used. Again, none of this is financial advice. Don't use this. It's a very high risk strategy. But yeah, that's the actual market value of all my holdings in the portfolio is actually worth 247K. But then I'm taking margin against that value to get cash out, to pay bills and things like that. So, but yeah, I try to keep this ratio of like basically my growth stuff and my income stuff fairly close. So I try to keep this income stuff close to like the margin that's withdrawn, just so like almost like the margin is being funded by like that income stuff, or the income stuff is being funded by the margin. So yeah, right now it's a little bit lower, but yeah, again, this is going to replenish next week. And yeah, try to kind of keep these roughly to par. So like, say something crazy happens and I want to back out of the strategy, what I can do is basically just sell all my high yield positions and wipe my margin if I want to, or even just the growth stuff. So I always have a plan B, plan C for whatever happens. But if we look at like the monthly income total, so I love using Monarch, and I've been tracking all my income stuff and budgets and stuff for years, like ever since Mint, and then RIP for that. I was on that for a while and then made the big switch to Monarch when Mint died the other year. But I've been really liking it, and feels a bit more safe in a way because you're actually paying for it versus Mint was free. So I'm less scared of this going away. But yeah, I just kind of obsessively track everything, like as far as like my income, my spending. So yeah, you can see my dividends here for the month. So far I'm at like 2,300 between everything. So you can kind of see like all the new ones that came in this week and the ones from the week before. So yeah, that's the dividends this month. And yeah, like again, I love Monarch here. You can kind of just see the progress over time. If we go to yearly mode, like this is when I started investing. That's how many dividends I was getting back then when I was just doing just pure growth and some dividend growth. And I kind of started dipping my toes here into high yield stuff with like closed end funds like BST to get tech exposure, but dividends, and then just kind of like grown from there really. Yeah, really in 2024 is when I started. So you can kind of see the big jump here from like 6,000 to 26,000 this year so far. So yeah, that's the update really. Yeah, if we pop over to Snowball, you can kind of see how I'm tracking against the S&P 500. So I think like how they're calculating this is as if you're invested in the S&P, and then see how your portfolio grows along that. So yeah, I'm ahead for the last 7 days. Ahead for the last month, the last 3 months, the last 6 months, year to date. It was definitely like underperforming for a while, but then it's really bounced back up in the last few months. But yeah, so the portfolio is doing good. Yeah, obviously, again, none of this financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes for you to follow along to see how I do. It's a very, very high risk strategy. I've built the stomach up for this over the last several months, like year really, and just overall as investing for the last few years. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to go over is what's it called? Preview a little bit for the next video actually. So I don't think I've seen this fully done like I'm thinking. But my plan for next week, actually, so there'll probably be a weekly video like this, but there'll be a separate video where my paycheck is coming in. I get paid twice a month, semi-monthly. So that's coming in on the 15th. And I thought it'd be fun to basically just show the whole flow. So show that like the paycheck coming in spending over here. Show how I transfer that over to my brokerage. And then just kind of show my process and flow for like how I split that up as far as like the growth stuff that I invest in, and then also the high yield income, how I choose that. And then also just showing the flow of just sending money over to my spending account, just to pay off bills that are due for that week. So I thought that'd be really fun and transparent way to just kind of really practically show how I'm fully investing my paycheck every paycheck, and how I am living out of my brokerage by just transferring money out, paying bills and the like. And you can kind of see the real time feedback of buying power, adjusting margin, and all that good stuff. So yeah, look forward to that next week, and hope to see you there. Hope you have a good rest of your day. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Washington, and I hope it's good where you are at too. Take care.